Disappointing to say the least, guys. That was a hard watch. Staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch that was, let's say, painful. It is a disappointing result. But when you look through the statistics, we had 12 shots on target, which is unheard of under Thomas. To be honest, let's be honest. It was just, we have spurts of good play. It's just mixed in with spurts of absolute crap, which is disappointing because we've got the players there. That's the thing that disappoints you, is you can have a week of absolute brilliance and then the next week it is just dog's breakfast. It is so frustrating being a Tottenham fan. And if Wednesday morning we lose against Frankfurt, which I don't think we will, I think we will win, Thomas will be under the pump, absolutely. But again, it's, we had so many chances. There was Dom Solanke's headed to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was brilliant today for them, which is always the way. Why couldn't he have just had one more week off? We could have been 2 or 3-0 up, but it's just so frustrating. And for all those people now that want us to lose to Manchester City next week, pull your head in, because we can't. Another thing that I was going to say in this video is the frustration. I wore a red shirt specifically for this because I think as a fan base, I know this is going to piss a lot of people off and it might be the end of my YouTube channel. Woohoo! We need to grow up as a fan base. Fair dinkum, if you want to wear red. Do you think that the Arsenal supporters are bitching and moaning because their Emirates is white across their shirt? I don't think so. Again, I'll probably go off on a bit of a tangent here, and I've sort of been, you hear all these things, and I know Paul Hotspur, he put a video up from the other group, another YouTube creator saying that they're Manchester City till July. We can't afford to be Manchester City till July. We can't afford to be Manchester City next week because we need to start winning. We should not give two flying about them up the road. Whatever happened 100 odd years ago about them moving from wherever they did to North London, we really don't need to worry about them anymore. Just disregard whatever disregard whatever they're doing. If your hatred for Arsenal is more than your love for Tottenham, don't be a Tottenham fan. Simple as that. It's pretty simple. Just get behind the team. Win, lose or draw, get behind the team. Do not come on here and say, oh, Arsenal did this, Arsenal did that. Fair dinkum. Just forget them altogether. Think of them as a Bournemouth or and let's be brutally honest, they're going to win the league this year, and there's a fair chance they might even win the bloody Champions League. That's how good a form they're in. Well, if it's good form, it may be good form, but not good football. Put it that way. They're winning games, but they're not playing pretty football. It's just going to be a dross fest. Let's be honest. And Tottenham as a fan base, they just need to mature. Just grow up. You've got other things in your life to look into and be part of and all that sort of stuff. There is no need to just constantly go on about Arsenal. This was my rant. I'll wear this red shirt and I'll just, as I say, my 19 subscribers might go down to 3 or 0. And as long as I've got this off my chest, I'll be happy. Because I guess this all stems from that game against Manchester City 2 years ago with Ange. And he said, I want to win every game. And he was roasted for that because of the people that wanted Arsenal not to win the championship, but for us to lose to Manchester City so that wouldn't happen. That is ridiculous. If you were supporting a club, they need to win. You want them to win every game. And you don't need to worry about what's happening with them up the road. It's just ridiculous. And now it's not a matter of, we can lose to them so that Arsenal don't win the title. We need to win because we need to stay up. And that's another thing that had caught my eye. I was watching last week on Spurs. And the thing that I think that worries a lot of these content creators is what's going to happen if we do go to the championship? Are people going to be as interested in Tottenham when they're in the championship rather than if they're in the Premier League? So a lot of them are probably freaking out too, which is ironic. But it's an interesting couple of months ahead, or interesting couple of weeks ahead, to be honest. The next four games are tough, are very, very tough. City, United, Newcastle, Arsenal, and Frankfurt in there in between. The lineup for today's game, it was all right, but again, it just doesn't seem to be as fluid. Like the Dortmund game, we played on the front foot and played at speed. Yet for Burnley, a team that we should, again, it just reverts to sideways and backwards. It just, as I say, but we did create a lot. We created more chances, had more shots on target than probably we've had in 5 games this year, which is a green shoot or a step forward, but still, it's a disappointing result. We just want to hope that pray to God that none of these teams at the bottom get a run. Unfortunately, West Ham, they won again today too. And I watched them and they played quick. They played well. So, as I say, wanted to try and just sort of get a few things off my chest and just regards into the Arsenal stuff and all that sort of. It's just, as I say, this year it's going to be different to a couple of years ago because we need to win. I don't care if, and you shouldn't care. The only time you should care is if we're second and they're first. Let's be honest. And if we, that's the only thing that you should really care about. For us to lose a game, we should always be supporting our team to win games. Thomas Frank, he's, I think he's going to be on the precipice, especially if things don't go away on Wednesday. But they will. Full on confident that'll happen. I've just heard that they were saying that Frankfurt lost in the Bundesliga today, and they have got a hard game against Leverkusen, and they've got no chance of getting through even to the playoff stage for the Champions League. So they might rest a lot of players. So they might have a second string side, and we should go full on hard for that, and we'll see what happens. But we need to win. We need to win both against Frankfurt and against Manchester City on the weekend. Well, guys, that'll be about it. I'll just leave you with that, and just say, do we need to mature as a fan base? Leave a comment and let me know if you don't agree that we should grow up as a fan base. Feel free to throw shit at me. Okay, guys. Don't forget, Enoch out. Support the shirt, not the suit. And come on, you Spurs. Let's go.